This mountain is taller than the Taj Mahal, but it's not carved from marble. It's made of your garbage. And today we are going to pull back the lid on India's waste management crisis. How bad it is, the reasons behind it, the consequences, and most importantly, what we can do about it. Welcome back to Behind the Headlines, a series where we cut through the clutter around trending news and bring to you what actually matters. Let's get started. India produces more than 62 million tons of waste annually. In 2022 alone, India generated 1,70,000 tons of solid waste every day, out of which only 1,56,000 tons was collected. Now, out of this, around 54% was treated and 24% was deposited in landfills. The rest 22%? No one knows where it ends up. Let's zoom into India's major metro cities. Now, Delhi generates around 11,000 tons of municipal solid waste daily. With Mumbai, it's 7,000 tons, and Bangalore and Chennai generate around 5,000 to 4,500 of tons daily. Now, together, these four cities generate around 29,000 tons of solid municipal waste every day. So when you add secondary cities, small towns and rural waste, the number incredibly rises. And this is only municipal solid waste. If you add construction waste, sanitary and medical waste, that's when the numbers become staggering. Now let's look at the mountains of garbage. Ghazipur landfill, now reaching about 65 meters in height and still receiving fresh waste. Deonar landfill in Mumbai, one of the oldest dumping grounds, prone to fires and toxic smoke clouds. Bellandur Lake in Bangalore. Now, it has become infamous for frothing, catching fire and severe water pollution due to unprocessed waste dumping. Now, the sites emit methane, leach out toxins into groundwater, catch fire and pose serious health risks for nearby communities. While majority of the waste is biodegradable, what hurts us is non-biodegradable waste and the way it is collected and processed. And the biggest culprit is plastic. Now, India produces around 26,000 tons of plastic waste every day and collects only around 60% of that. Now, of what is collected, only a small fraction is recycled. And here's the journey of plastic. Let's say you buy a bottle or a packet of chips, use it for 5 minutes and toss it into the bin. Now, a mixed waste truck picks it up, it lands in a landfill or an open dump, and then the plastic slowly breaks into microplastics over hundreds of years, enters rivers, contaminates soils, filters into the food chain, and eventually ends up back inside you. So you might ask, why not just ban this stuff? Well, authorities did exactly that, instituting a nationwide ban on certain single-use plastics in 2022, but it just doesn't seem to work because no scalable or affordable alternatives exist for plastic. And many street vendors also cannot absorb the cost of biodegradable substitutes. And just when it seemed too much to handle, there's another crisis lurking upon us: e-waste. India generated approximately 3.8 million metric tons of e-waste in FY24, making it the third largest e-waste producer after China and USA. Of this, only about 10 to 15% goes to formal recyclers and the rest goes to the informal sector, where children work in makeshift recycling units, devices are burned in open pits, and acid leaching poisons the environment. Now let's talk about what's wrong at the system level. Problem number 1. No segregation at source. The 2016 rules already mandated separate bins for wet and dry waste. Yet, in reality, over 90% of households don't segregate, and even when they do, waste trucks often mix it back together. Now, mixed waste is a huge challenge for processing plants. Problem number 2. Municipal and financial collapse. Now, Indian cities spend around 30 to 50% of their municipal budgets on waste and still end up performing poorly. Why? Because of chronic underfunding, contractor payment delays, broken accountability, and corruption in waste tendering. The result? Overflowing bins, overworked workers, and underperforming infrastructure. And when the formal system weakens, another ecosystem silently takes over. Which brings us to our problem number 3. Huge informal to formal gap. India's recycling backbone is built on the shoulders of 1.5 to 4 million ragpickers. They do the hard work, which is sorting, collecting, and recycling without gloves, masks, recognition, safety, or any sort of stability. Any attempt to formalize the sector hits resistance from both ends because companies fear increased costs and workers fear losing autonomy and income. Problem number 4. Technology and infrastructure mismatch. Now, meanwhile, the technology we try to build into the system isn't even designed for Indian realities. Many of India's waste-to-energy plants were modeled on European designs, but there's one big issue. European waste is dry and high calorific, and Indian waste, on the other hand, is wet, low calorific, and 50 to 60% organic. Now, this is why many waste-to-energy plants run at only 30 to 50% of their capacity, produce excessive emissions, or shut down entirely due to operational issues. And behind everything lies a deeper cultural challenge, which brings us to our problem number 5. Behavior and cultural problem. Public waste is treated like an invisible problem. Littering is normal and someone else will clean it as a default mindset. Now the middle class generates the most waste while the poorest Indians sort through it, live beside it and inhale it. Now you know the problems, let's flip the camera to money and the markets. Treating India's waste problem isn't just charity, it's a billion-dollar market. Publicly listed players that are municipal service providers and contractors are direct beneficiaries. Companies such as Ramkey, A2Z, Antony Waste see their revenue jump when they win big municipal contracts, while waste-to-energy plants continue to struggle with India's high organic share. So yes, there is huge potential and a list of problems waiting for solutions. You fix the system and you shall unlock a huge industry. And it is possible because across India, a few cities have already shown us and proved that change is not only achievable but scalable. Indore is a classic example, ranked as India's cleanest city. Now, Indore did not win 7 Swachh Sarvekshan titles by accident. It happened because of 9 years of consistent political will, strict fines that were actually enforced, 100% door-to-door collection, citizen participation, and real-time tech monitoring. Today, Indore achieves more than 95% waste segregation, processes around 1400 tons per day, and sends almost nothing to landfills. Another example is of a small town in Kerala that eliminated the need for landfills and achieved 100% source segregation, decentralized composting, and community-led biogas plants. So yes, solutions do exist, but they need support, and now policy is beginning to respond. For the first time in years, India has introduced rules on solid waste management, with coverage expanded to rural India as well, and decentralized processing made mandatory. Even the market is exploding. India's current waste management market is expected to be worth $13.5 billion, growing to $17.9 billion by 2030. So if planned right, this can create 50 lakh formal jobs in the coming years. A huge potential. So yes, India is at a decisive fork in the road, and it all depends on you. Which India will you choose? The one drowning in trash or the one rising above it? The choice is yours. Well, that's it for the episode of Behind the Headlines. My name is Maharshi and we'll be back again with another story that's shaping your world. Till then, stay sharp and question everything.